Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the E-levy. We have delivered. Paying the Burton tax. We have delivered.
Opuna mampenika se obe restore no. Washa se e restore hope no.
Nyami se President Mahama. President Mahama, what yenjanka? President Mahama mini bia me catch you.
We never implement the betting tax. We never collected betting tax.
Miyema shimi se
yen somewhere for nyina kwaba ebiom emra jumadi so ensem bebre ene koso ewo oman Ghana finally finance minister at the 2025 budget no ababe tudwana eno achi no ensem efreche bane sewani ensesa me ena me capture the lives of E-levy any betting tax any other taxes na timamufo no ehwe ni mu se John Dramani Mahama ene na ban ebe ye free ho no. Finally, one more year for her. Sisi amino kasei timamufono e bose quick one. Yabako na feno yakwa tie nsem ni bi 5 to 10 minutes na eba abusia information we chire pa commander. And say Ghana for be say energy aba.
Yeah.
Yes, taxes awodo aban no eyi afio ene nsese ya aban no e de agu akwan mu no.
Yeah, of course.
Say Ghana for say anodin.
Yeah.
Omobebo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene na banya baso.
Yeah, of course. Nkomo de bebre e koso na amanfo bi ka se e bona wo share no. Sisie ya the first budget e ba ye no. Almost 25% of the budget were this that na eva be di mu nkomo na afi nsem bi okobia no. E di atoaso.
Ensem no din enti mesai for say wo mo ntwen ye. And then some pa do the quick one. Yen san kotie mra ketua bi na eba and some wachi.
Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on winning from lottery, otherwise known as the betting tax. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the electronic transfer levy, E-levy of 1%. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on betting. We will abolish the electronic transfer levy, E-levy of 1%. We will abolish the emission levy, otherwise as a Wusie tax. We will abolish the VAT on motor vehicle insurance policy. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold by small-scale miners. Mr. Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable income. Right, Honorable Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable incomes. In addition, it will support business growth and improve tax compliance. Mr. Speaker, Right, Honorable Speaker, the tax refund account has been abused in recent years. In the last 8 years, a study revealed that 29.1 billion Ghana cedis had accrued to the tax refund account, with only 12.5 billion Ghana cedis, representing 43% of the total accrued amount, being used for tax refund purposes. Mr. Speaker, the study also revealed that 16.6 billion Ghana cedis, representing 57% of the total amount accumulated in the tax refund account, was misapplied. Mr. Speaker, which is a total violation of the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915, and the Public Financial Management Act. Instructively, Mr. Speaker, there were virtually no tax refund arrests over the period. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, We are reducing the current tax refund ceiling by 2 percentage points from 6% to 4% of total revenue, as defined in Section 69 of the Revenue Administration Act 915. Mr. Speaker, by reducing the ceiling on the tax refund from 6% to 4%, Right Honorable Speaker, we have saved the taxpayer 3.8 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, this amount is enough to close the revenue shortfalls from the removal of the bound account from 6 to 4. It is enough to remove this tax, and the savings will be provided to take care of social interventions. Mr. Speaker, already we have saved 3.8 billion cedis for 2025 alone from one source, and this is enough to close the gap from the taxes we have removed today. Mr. Speaker, to address the concerns from well-meaning Ghanaians on how we are going to close the revenue shortfalls as a result of the removal of the selected taxes, the answer is that we have stopped the bleeding. We have stopped the bleeding. Revenue from extractive industry is around 1.5% of GDP only. This is because, as a country, we have failed to fully capture the economic rent of our natural resources. Mr. Speaker, whereas global gold prices have seen some significant increase in recent times, Ghana has not been able to take full advantage of the development. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, we are proposing to increase the growth and sustainability levy from 1% on gross production of mining companies to 3% to enable the nation to have its fair share of the windfall. Mr. Speaker, we also propose to extend the sunset clause to 2028. Mr. Speaker, we also propose to extend the sunset clause of the special import levy to 2028. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians, and this Honorable House will recall that road tolls on public roads were zero rated in the year 2022. Demand for construction and improvement of road infrastructure continues to increase, even as substantial arrests and claims in the road sector remains. Right, Honorable Speaker, while the annual average collection from road tolls have not been significant compared to its potential, the existing zero-rated policy for road tolls has increased the situation and dimmed the prospect of raising enough revenue from tolls to road construction and maintenance. Accordingly, government will work with the stakeholders, including the private sector, to roll out a technology-driven solution to reintroduce road tolls this year as part of the big push. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will also strengthen the legal and regulatory regime for non-tax revenue and enforce the framework to improve service delivery. This will be achieved through the introduction of an overarching non-tax revenue legislation, amendment of existing relevant laws, and the development of a national non-tax revenue strategy and policy. Mr. Speaker, as part of the reforms to improve other non-tax revenue streams, government will explore the operationalization of a regulatory framework for collection, management, and reporting of property rates consistent with our medium-term revenue strategy 2024 to 2027 and the Local Government Act. Mr. Speaker, we believe that the local authorities must be given the opportunity to collect their own property rates. Mr. Speaker, the current compliance rate for SMEs and personal income tax is below 30%, which is extremely low. Government will embark on an aggressive and sustained tax education campaign in the next 2 to 3 years to ensure improved compliance and tax revenue mobilization. We will also institute a quarterly dialogue on tax issues among the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ministry of Finance, and the business community to ensure that issues affecting businesses are addressed promptly. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to VAT reforms, VAT reforms. Right Honorable Speaker, we commit to the people of Ghana and this House, the business community, that we will undertake a comprehensive value-added tax reform this year. Mr. Speaker, with the aim to review the current distortions and cascading structure of the value-added tax regime. Ghana's effective rate, VAT rate is about 22%. This is obviously because the 2.5% Get Fund levy, the National Health Insurance levy of 2.5%, and the COVID levy are well added to the base for a final determination of what is due for VAT purposes. Mr. Speaker, aside the high VAT rate, businesses are not permitted by law to claim their input VAT for NHIL, Get Fund, and COVID levy, compounding the burden on households. Right Honorable Speaker, our VAT regime has been distorted and rendered inefficient. It combines both VAT and sales tax principles with a flat rate, standard rate, and levies. We have requested for technical assistance from the Fiscal Affairs Department of the IMF on VAT reforms. It is expected that the IMF mission will commence in April 2025. The recommendations from the Technical Assistance Mission are expected to inform our reform. Mr. Speaker, ahead of the IMF Technical Assistance Mission, I will inaugurate a VAT reform task force to hold broad consultation with key stakeholders for their input. Mr. Speaker, the parameters for VAT reform will be is for them to complete this year. Mr. Speaker, the parameters will include the following. 1, abolishing the COVID levy. Mr. Speaker, reversing the decoupling of Get Fund and NHIL VAT from VAT. Mr. Speaker, reducing the effective VAT rate for households and businesses. Reversing the VAT flat rate regime and upwardly adjusting the VAT registration threshold to exempt micro and small businesses from the collection of VAT. Mr. Speaker, we are making serious progress. Right Honorable Speaker, we are making progress. We committed to running a lean, efficient government of 60 ministers. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the E-levy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the burden tax. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to eliminate academic fee for first-year public tertiary students. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing free tertiary education for all people with disability. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing dedicated source of funding for free secondary education. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to distributing sanitary pads to our schoolgirls. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap Get. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap the National Health Insurance. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to uncap the road fund to maintain our roads. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to hold a national forum on education. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to hold a national dialogue on the economy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free primary health care. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver Mahama Care Program to finance the treatment of non-communicable disease. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free textbooks to school children. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to begin the implementation of $10 million Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to constitute a review process for our constitution. Mr. Speaker, we are delivering. Mr. Speaker, We committed to build the Ghana we want together. We are delivering. Right, Honorable Speaker, we committed to recover all looted state funds under our Operation Recover All Loot program. We are delivering. Mr. Speaker, we committed to reset Ghana. We are delivering. Right, Honorable Speaker, I call on Parliament, the business community, civil society, investors, and all citizens to support the bold reforms outlined in this budget. Together, Mr. Speaker, we have the power to build a resilient economy that will help us tackle the challenges we face as a country. This budget is a foundation upon which we will build a more resilient and equitable society. On behalf of His Excellency the President, I invite this House to join hands with us as we work to build the Ghana we want together. Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much. E-levy keke.
Finally,
budget number.
Ghana for Ebo atofo siambaso.
Of course.
After His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enena ban.
Yeah.
Ghana for dinkomo.
Yeah.
Ghana for bonabaso.
Of course.
And some bebre fimu ba. Ayeni nkomo e.
Well, the right way there, mama na wase. Na me chevros na eni nkomo kakra na budget we nim. Said the amount for betu ni din afa. Na we there me meka ne say eye asempa budget. Said the be atwem budget bi ko ya. Na e friends because address the current situation of Ghanaians. As a budget no e dwene Ghana for ho. Nti saa e na mefre no. Na budget ne baaye no. Ghana for bi asha say e bo mampani abaso say odi ne bo hye so.
Budget a ye kwakọ redi na Ghana for ase Ghana for ye willing so mutie. Even unse emre bi atwam ye ko redi budget say ya. Emabu na e wo my Ghana mu na ya na omunia ho ahokeka say omo ko tia sem no you get it. But then this time asa na youth ni nyina e crowd say womo ba be tie the finance minister e ba be kan. And finally one of the taxes na emabunu no hwa ni mu say finance minister ebe kan ho asem e betting tax.
Of course.
And finally womo ye free way.
The right the ama this time na budget no Ghana for bebre e hwe na omo etie no eye se kwan Ghana for so to aba over family man NDC no na e say omo nya gide bi wan NDC enti after so omo di omo gide no omo re ashe NDC no this is the first day omo be hwe se ampa NDC so e wo odo e de omo de NDC for kan ye no eye propaganda keke ye politics eye campaign anase na ya sempa na after say omo tie wie ya utie reaction ene nkomo na asa Ghana for sha say enya adwene bi say hope na mampani ka say oba restore no wa sha say e restore hope no e wo Ghana for mu right of course say utie commentary e run throughout the country right after budget na wa sha say e restore
Ghana for dinkomo
of course
almost say
right nkomo bi Ghana for di ni say president mama oye adwuma wura na ne nsam na wo ka ye no within 2 months wetima di ne boshe ne be say 25% so into some of ne boshe Eko Rwanda manfo di hu nkoma ne e apia o budget no no eye sem se earlier odin kan di ba ko so the ministers no so oba appoint o within 14 days and wachi less than 63 ministers but so what right after that ene e won se covid betting tax eko E-levy eko emission levy eko taxes bebre we ye fi ho o wie ye no ena osan se fund bi o tu ni di adwuma wura fund ya ye di sika eko hyem na ye di create nyuma no omo di sika ko ho omo be ko university or say first year tuition fee be free no and na omo saka ho in the budget say sika no so ma locate a eko ye che say tuition fee na mpa and a disabled for no omo say disabled for no be ko university free in the budget are reflected in this oh sha na che say most of the bosha hodo a o kan ye no including women's bank na oka wa say na o ma say yisika o ma dey start women's development bank no na che say ampa mampani no oye adwuma wura na oye listening president
no yen start minim ba bi kra yen starting fee say yen ko E-levy ana
the right ho na o se chance
o se na Ghana for din komo pa
asem ni nyina no na the right NDC for strategically omukotena ekire kosua ade nti eto da bia election na President Mahama lose in 2016 no na meka se na eye pa se olusu ye because aboa Ghana for kotena fie sua ade e na waba in a different style the right na taxes ni nyina na ye bisa se eye because at the end of the day yes ni nyina chini o mind be just sika free but wahwa otwa mu no ama Ghana for ni age pa
me kwa na me ka se ade nti na ye te o mind ba kum na taxes awodo akwakoba se aban bi abo se me twetwa sa taxes nim timamfo ani age sa taxes na ye di adwuma ana
asem ni nyina no
e ba ne say
the right asem ni nyina ne say taxes na omoje no na we ye atwitwa mene taxes taxes ya aso nipa mene a ogene ho ba bia enye nti na ye wo ways and means ya ye beto ma Ghana fa ho han o me the right ahwade bi atofos en eka ne nsem no o say companies akesi a omo oman ni ma tax refund no omo tua taxes omo ye adwuma sika from aba ban ho no awsa ban sa refund sika ko no eno no percentage ne yente so na oman ni ntimi save sika eno to nchen companies akese to say mining companies are omutu gold any a good year kese from mining
e ho mani jipa
tax na omutua no eso yentum nti yetum a maame ajara oton koko no eno no enka no but oman ni benya sika de aye adwuma o se ye
onse oman Ghana galam omo me galamse no
yes
omo skapa
of course sika no
enka ntete no na abrochefo na sidan akese
yeah
bare ne ababa galamsefo nti ade ne yemfa nhye enwu akwam na sa nkofo no yemfa tax no kese nto because omo tukro omo se sense
omo se sense ase nti sika na ye beje free bodwa for E-levy for na omo so omo so na dross no ene ade na yenya na yem pushing konko jim free sa companies ene minus for no
galamse foi
aban ni nya sika na onya na pepepe emfri galamse for na timamufo no ne 10 cities na okodwom obenya no enwo ni bottom na aban enye bi mfri no ho sade ebe ya ono so be stable wa abrabom brother this is one reason I convince me say your leadership skills
have a betting tax
brother say me na betting tax
emrante ne say mampani mama osia oyo oka asema odiso because na de omo twa nyina ne se tax no se free ho because genuinely obia onim tax ho asem ne bet asem ebia nim se companies na omo eye betting companies no sika bi omo benya wo man we bia bosumi bia no omo twa ho tax e de ma aban no ntitima muni ne kakra na wotwa no already ye ti no in different ways nteni se sakoti bi e ba say no ama youth no e boje mampani so se mampani no is a listening president na no achi the ama youth na ni agya me ankasa mani agine betting tax sika na yenya na to force nse e wo me se draw so but e no so bia sa sika bebre ho a e kama yenyigi a se ye agi sa sika na e draw so e chen betting tax no nti sa sika ni mom e no mani ko ho mo gi sa sika no na akwa ko betting tax ni na omo gamble no omo asoma dom na omo ye free na but no nkyere sa aban no so gamble so na mum one way or the other no aban no so le sika film enti ye ntimi ngu no say ye ma ne nkoso but at the end of the day na say different companies no companies no omo ye sika fo egu na amanfo bisa se taxes bebrebe a aban so ye free hoi enti die pa no de be chichi oman no but then we have saved 3.8 billion for 2025 alone from only one sources and this is enough to close the gap from the taxes that we have removed.
Asemi nyina no nti o ka se na eno ye sources a omo benya sika firi aba nti one source pe kwan ba ko pa omo benya sika firi ho a eno nya sika omo ko babusia wo e tax na bi sa sika no nko a etimi match E-levy ne betting tax any emission levy na sika na ye nya firi mu no
na commander ye kan galamse foi ho kwa no ye ka se ye de taxes ni bi ka ho a se ye benya sika bro sa ai E-levy o
unim se gold na ye ton ana ye tu o ma wiem no mo se Ghana cocoa board cocoa ma ye sika pa nje wi ase na pa ma ye cocoa mo sika Ghana ye one of the first 2-3 countries no but so what sika ye ton every year gold sika ye more than 3 times cocoa there nti na hu be hia se gold na ye wo se ma ye ni ekoho yie nti in budget reading no ka se me se omo person omo form the gold board say the cocoa board no na omo regulate gold ho sensem na omo na ato gold no
and say budget no read na video na wa
yes
be 1 night ko 2 hours ti bebre wo ho amama commander de be ba hihye
mo nti the right say gold board no ho a gold na ye toto no obi ato a okwakoto ma Ghana gold board no nti gold nyina be fa yensem na oman no ato Ghana fo ni nsem na ya koton wa abrochire na yenye sika to so body afrim ye wi a omo ba be ton ama oman no ye be san ti omo tax nti e ba sa sika e benya afri ho no eno nko adoso chen the E-levy emission levy ne betting tax e de be ma ye and aside that taxes ahodo ana ye san agige no bebre ho na enkoye adwuma e wo se ye
okay
assuming say ya je taxes say ye ekwan ho tax ne age ye wi a sika no enko rose no ho ye mfa maintain and na aye me de say sam communication say taxes ni bi ho a bebi aye je no it will go there e kwa na wo se ye adwuma ho right very good but aside taxes no nkomo ba ko bi so na ye me de pa tika from taxes no be say go straight away
okay
cd no exchange rate no odi hu nkomo nse obi a hwe ni mu se after taxes no ye hia sika nti ye sika na na ye nya kwa be na e be fa so a ye sika no kra be gina go ye sika sam nya dada the right atofosing in the budget I can boldly say omadwuma kese pa ne se ombema cedi na gina na dollar na ehwe cedi no na a change na omo resources omo measures omo niam omo de agu akwan ma ombema cedi no agina na ye bisa ne se measure ne se a o se the 24-hour economy policy no omo de ba be create a lot of enuma ewo oman nim na yaye Ghana made niam bebre nti okọ no or the Ghana made bag and a coin it is a young crab bags na ye ha ye bibia ha it will make ye niam no and chesene bono e be for Ghana ha obi aba akwa bi nti e ba sa pressure na e wo dollar no so no pressure no beti akofom and ye nyina yenim se oman problem ne kese e exchange rate and say solve a oman na gina ji nti budget no starting from taxes to exchange rate no these are the first 2 figures here na Ghana for bibri anyone ho na ye di hu nkomo we are very proud of this budget say ye betumi a maintain budget we said ya coming na ye go by the plan no na ye di budget na chi saa ene ye ka oman no e be ye de pa
e be de yenkwaji video emra enzamo ho info bi wa commander eba badam minority no so akasa o mu chemu se betting tax no nyom na implement ye kwekwan ketwa bi osua yenhwemra na eba information wa chire pa.
They didn't talk about how to decrease water bills. All these bills will continue to increase, looking at the indicators that we are seeing. And we thought that having campaigned on cost of living crisis and came to power with the support of the Ghanaian people, the least the government could do was to present a budget that will address the cost of living crisis in terms of transport fares, in terms of petroleum product prices, in terms of energy bills. But even when we come to taxes, the minister announced that they are abolishing VAT on motor insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, we were already not collecting VAT on motor insurance. VAT on motor insurance was exempted. Rather, the minister was trying to be smart. They have reintroduced VAT on non-life insurance, with the exception of the motor vehicle insurance. So all other insurance, given that the penetration of the insurance industry is just 1.1%, we are so shocked that the minister will reintroduce VAT on non-life insurance, except motor vehicle insurance. So let us not rejoice over the removal of these taxes, which we expected. What we did not expect was the reintroduction of VAT on insurance. They've also increased the growth and sustainability levy from 1% to 3% for the mining sector and extended the sunset period from 2025 to 2028. When you heard the minister talking about growth, he said that the growth was influenced by the extractives.
That's a lie.
And so, how can you tax a sector which is giving you growth? The sector that is giving you growth is the sector you want to go and tax. This is not good for industry. This is not good for economic growth, and this is not good for the development of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, betting tax that they said they have abolished. We never collected betting tax. We never implement the betting tax. So to come and tell Ghanaians that you have abolished something that was not implemented is to deceive the people of Ghana.
Adams.
I'm surprised.
That's what you're doing.
Miyama Shimi said, Cremonia or yet Trivia. Not all country. Oh, be that.
Adams.
This is my first time said, Cremonia yet Trivia. Now, all shall allow so now all country Allah.
The minority caucus.
How the right time shock politics. It nipa bedrechi.
Obasa oze a betting tax no mo nyeshi no mo kra na de bae.
Enti
eno wo mo na de bae.
Eno na nwanwa na me dwene se de bia ye ka no. Se ka eto de bia nyame nya ade bi maye. So obi twa ntroma ne bro so a eho na no. Yankopon ma agrada enyansi ni tirim.
Na betting tax wo mo na de bae.
The right time nyina ye ko ye chi kakra. Na ade a me be kan na eye on the 6th of November 2023. The right time the Income Tax Amendment Act 2023 Act 1094 introduces a withholding tax of 10% on all winnings. Until 2023 November and abine this act whereby you say utwa bet na say udia dodo a wodi no abine beti mu 10% ye chemu edua emu abupan baako ana ye chemu wo ha emu abupan du abine beje
ende Ghana babunu bia bedi ho adanse
Roger
obi otwa bet bia bedi ho adanse
asem we be ye dede o Ghana ha bebra all of a sudden minority no led by former finance minister say NPP and de bae and eno kwa ma me gina so ka say everything Adam ebeka bia no enye nokre
enti adan na omo ye campaign no na NPP for na nkasa trotro say betting tax omo betwam na Ghana for e question omo say na nye mo na mo de bae adan na mo se mo ba betwam nti ho na den na Adams wo mama me yi anu say da bi nye ne de bae
I'm shocked because me ya dwene say NPP for na deceivers. They are just here to deceive Ghanaians. That be the writer. Mwankasa na mode bet.
So we be kasa we NDC.
The writer, I stand to be corrected. Se me boadia, if you are no enka ye date ya, betting tax no ebaye. And I say obi kasa.
Ana de obi abedi ho adanse. Se betting tax ne de. Mo ye nyina nim sem before na de buy.
Enti say I me point ne say. Fine, obi kasa me NDC ni but me NDC ni. But point ne say. Me ye Ghana ni. Se o the betting tax aba. Na ye to aba o say ye campaign say obesa atwam na ye bisa MPP fo ne say ade na muntwam o mo say ba o mianko ena na adonko no kra ne ma ba o mianko ka say ene E-levy ni say oye ne na otinade na obeye
say bi nso enu no mo ka say nyom ne de bae
enti Adams na oye finance minister right after Kinofurata koye no on koye na oye deputy enti after everything no obeso ka che say on kai we chibiem on kai bibie ho and if untimi enkai simple thing I happen here in 2023 yentimi mfano o mine more because there way animu so
yen kanche MPP for say ya na ombe dia ombe tena opposition ache omonhwe ya
I'm shocked. And I make a press conference. MPP press conference, a dorsal pa, but emphasizing because Obia or yet, I mean, that was point and I am one was said. Now, when you say we are a markings moving the Becassa because so many Omunia and in Cremonia or Holy Mant in Ramadan Manta, a year Holy Manta, a bonny. Yeah, Papa Baby Cracker say, even. A membrante or Mumware, you drew no more pana, a drew while your mamma not from good Johnny Free home. Embrante any more number for a beer, or me and come for Mopa to trust him caca, a drew while or near to trust him beam, over can crowd won't feel because holy month. Former finance minister, Alan, they can't throw. Oh, right, this are certain things I answer so say, oh, car. You're right, one car, oh, you're wrong, could be like us, or time MPP, but when your time into so be abocrono. Now, catch and say, oh, you're confwa or born anything.
Say ya na ere MPP ko opposition.
Right too much.
But so dem be ya dream.
Me no ya dream.
E sa niam we. Lack of communication. Omo communicate ye. Omo nim say ye wo ye nananom breso. Yeah. Obetwa ntroche Ghana fo a. Na ya jeto but obetwa ntro no na wakwa akosa chide atai fo yi.
Asem ni nyina no no.
Enti sisi ano nye easy say obetime deceive nipa.
Right eno na ama na say software e ba ya info analytics for no. Eso omo de ba ya say wo check ya. Most of omo ye MPP for no omo ye this for more na nipa no omo enyine no MPP for no eswinge ekọ NDC but NDC for no obeko family bo mo NDC for but na nkwara no NPP for but omu nyini ko no na ebi mo change recently. That is the analytics ya info analytics for everybody into say what you say yeah the more na you to know o ma dwi mu bie o mo educated no right very difficult so be do because
sa cost of living ni niema na no keka say we say no say taxes awodo e deda ye so no e free so a e be ma common hare ama cost of living never form because here E-levy ayeken e be a day me send this ka be 3000 Ghana day bia me business ameye no me send this ka 3000 Ghana 3000 no yetimi be 50 cedis you get it e be yetimi be 100 cedis ye free say day bia na 100 cedis no metimi di ato boso me yese ye 30 million
not assembly nyina no
me komu ha me
question na me bisa me ho ne say me ye individual me ya brantie ebi kura me ye unemployed me nya adwuma obi asende me sika ya te E-levy afiu aside that sika no kura buy ni esha ena very fortunate me say me ko try me luck me so bet so but luck na me ko try me di kakra ke betima tomu bi asi ho na me di aban ne say obesa te betting tax no obeta afiu ma wi a me say ko yin obesa te E-levy ni biem after all this you see enu ni momu ye na mom obi abie company kese okoton gold abosumi bia no onya ebia 200 billion no ena oyimu ebia 4 billion dey tax ena aban ne say yenje 4 billion biem tua 8 billion fire tax yes sa aban no onipa boni ni obegu sa companies no na individuals no munya bi ntode ni na mwan right na minim say Amin Adams ebe comment on nsema a share budget ni mi say yem provide textbooks MS schools yem provide free sanitary pad na fama mabawa omuko school Ghana ha nyina from primary junior high school to senior high school ni university yem mo sanitary pad right abekaya me ka se mo ha se opesa o convince nkrofo a oni omunya pe kofom na oni omunya pepepe that is what aban no sisi ame no guso ka say say ababawa o school na the writer said the month so na ofrefie na sikani ho na opebi atopa na onya unim say the situation be sit
e bibiem wo ha ye de be so because COVID-19 tax no so
na ma
for Ghana for any age
the writer COVID
and I will say no so aka ho asempa
COVID ye no so that was another issue and no man twam ne o man abolition ne but in community say o ma form tax reform committee committee ne IMF e wo meeting in the month of April in the meeting o mo be discuss na after that o ma twa COVID tax ni but they say there taxes ahodo na o ma twam ne there eno an ye di hu ko ba director so the way nyina sincha I think and the budget no it was mainly on kwaya be fa so a ordinary Ghanaians no omo ho be han omo na pressure no emeto omo so right a very good yam ato forcing any aban na baso but yen hwe say budget na aba no omo be go with the budget omo be kwani pepepe e ma omo emmese budget no
yen fancy say because ye koy ya be san ba to the abigije trase na yen ko ye money toto because en some wa chire pa na boko de
ina ma nyam ya do me ho de papa
our quick one you know nsem ni mo sa eze wa hu de ko finally budget no and say atofo sin dia ba betu da emu nsem bebre ye nwuamu e
ina ma me ncha ahwefo
na chimi nyabotre ana na dia se wonim serious I mean tears ye
mani na age
woni age se
because 2025 budget 2025 budget aba ete wo se mani age ani ma me ka se President Mahama any influence no we yini na ma na brusu
nyabotre
sinama mani na age
nyabotre
ani mi refi na wo se mi shaka ade fufuo
asem na ba
Michelle White
asem na ba
unim Ghana din kunimo Ghana kunim dia we yin na ya Ghana fo ade
nyabotre ma to nim rafo
sinama na okay mama na ba fo ani ayimani
we just Ghana ye o
da bi wo se Ghana nya de ye
ada ni ayi
Ghana ahoto aba
okay E-levy no finally President Mahama we ye fro
nyamisha person Mahama
abegi say
nyamisha person Mahama because Ghana for yam to ban se kwa
enye person Mahama
aye President Mahama tie dino
president
be person Mahama just oye person what tie Ghana for asem nyamisha person Mahama nyami tun kwanda se obenya 100 and over 100 kan ho President Mahama what tie njanka what tie President Mahama mini be a catch now. Nyamin to Kwanam. Oh, my quatentrain. Because we are president, I was sit by Bimba. What ye, one my toy. COVID-19, ye come. Tights, ye come. Betting, none of them sacra were betting Tadmo. Metis a budget in the bar, I'm saying, I'm going to be a trick bet. I'm ranting as a shut at you for fool. I know Madame, well, or the other money in the Mumma from the other on the Sapa Jawa so. Or see me if I say that I'm a President Mahama. Yes, a batting or Mom Cabot. President Mahama was created more. First, I was created. Yes. Ye are betting. Why you betting ties the film?
Yeah.
What betting? Were you betting ties the film? What created first I do? Because me were on a ranch and say, a door one yard of about 5 million. No, they can bet. You hear you have a static, a clan over until President Mahama created a Juma. The first budget, the first creating.
Now, E-levy and the Biakan was a
E-levy. Now say I no see a great job. Or one created more be a me created job for me. Because me have E-levy near Timipa, Cinema go Fosca from phone so. Betting pa E-levy tight I yet. And you were created mamma. And the President Mahama Yamin slow. Me, I know away. Afghana Konya Obian Yan Premium. Yan Sale were gonna have beer.
Nasa when just say, why you be
I didn't want to buy Oyede.
Why?
I didn't want to cast one door yard in Quana about Oyede.
Why?
Nano, Oyede.
So the phrase just by.
And no, not the day we buy. No, not the way
So
buy.
no, Kufuado, no, him so the Bamo minor ye.
And I'm way. And I'm President Mahama Knasa say, there be me E-levy every so. Every Ghana Swama or Mohatoy. And then send up Omuti E-levy so 50 cities. And then Minya be in Kobakoma. 50 cities, Minya be such in Kobakoma. Minya be Fabian Mamma Banco School. Minya be Emma or be a nibi. Say, I don't need 10 million better. 20 million, 100 cities.
No, but say
100 cities, I bet you a man at Arabia school by 5 days. So I get, and they're a great job, big job for President Mahama creating. Messiah, one gun for my uncle sunlight, Bianco Toba. Hey, yeah, Messiah, my trouble him. Young Jama, President Mahama, for Pemso, Yanko Pombaton and Selfish. No way, what you didn't know, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Nasa some okay.
Now some Mammy Bissassim. Oh, Papa, or hell, no be. Papa, or foul, or her school, or Morgiano, or Mohoto, then I will buffer no papa.
The one who told me.
And to Mahama, my Ghana, what way? And to Mahama, there was a man at Nancy. Why be? Why I crop one? Oh, yeah. On the kind of Campra. But no grass, I'm not going to be glad with him. Nadia President Mahama, ABC da.
Biggie. Oh, yes, that.
ABC da.
I say, Galam, say for no, say, or the tax no baby movie.
So I was a papa Naniati. Galam say, Omunyes Cafe,
mine and Omunyes Capa.
Omunyes Cafe. I call a power, Katie, I saw a power, Panya 10 cities. Who got to bear E-levy after who contain a tight affiliation. Not the way I'm saying the Osawa Jan. I will not, and the President Mahama, I created job for ma. I carry for what created job for ma, or mamma, yet drink a tinkety. Because job will be any what can you have your film? What boy, and I didn't Tina make my cat Median say, Mahama, a point he has a gun for your say, young Yanko goes in the fee. Asa. I didn't go on Penno. Send it for what you mind. Now, because I've been see the finance means a benefit from. I could push a drum for saying. I didn't know, Namina Mamma. And yes, that. Oh, Nippon, no, Banagana for swan saying I may have Nanado. Nanado Bakuye, and a President Mahama Banyane.
Ah,
Yes. Nanado Bakuye, and a President Mahama Banyane. California won't a woman, not President Mahama Maya, many young women, any young one. And I said that Benny was here. Was he meaning the Makacha Mahama Mama come out from him?
woman.
Ah, not your way. Say, I got him and come to Mama.
Oh, dear, you
said the way
you trust you in Castle.
See, I'm the way
You're on your floor.
President Mahama
COVID-19 tax and also.
Why are they?
Ah,
And one, sir.
there's all contrary COVID tax behind. Should I?
Asa, the bien no. Oh, my, I can't say me tremor. Nedaya or Boston. COVID-19 ties you. Nedaya or Boston. COVID-19 ties you. Okotosumin, COVID-19 ties you. And you know, Honton. And in the poor Cassan Kotoba or Bataba.
NPP.
Fine. A grown voice. Obama President Mahama. Otto Johnson, who could have COVID-19
Mama, maybe, and I was here, man, international.
Oh, Miss and you can see a presidium. Ghana for young assassin, young 10 years. How Obama, what be our following.
But minority, no, NPP for the best up a betting tax. Omocrass and your money to buy. I'm betting tax be a credible.
Hannah,
I'm betting tax no.
They are can't have any Edma.
I mean, Adams.
Not any Edma. Oh, what's say your friends?
I mean, Adams.
Oh, young ceremony. That your young ceremony. I
Can you flat the free one on the buy?
that your ceremony.
Wife never no.
Tie, never tell. Miss Onya, baby, I had your wife, yes, and money, blab, and your wife, yes. Oh, young ceremony.
Miss your wife, if
Me. Cremo 4 year fasting. I need Adams to year fasting.
My Adams.
I need Adams. Oh, year fasting. I know I say no money multiply. I meet Adams.
I meet Adams.
I know that they buy. No money multiply me boy. So young cremony. Oh, year fasting.
Yeah.
Wait, and no question cremo for Prafa and so year cremony.
I mean, Adam.
I meet what John throw.
I mean,
Why, I love
oh,
why, bonding. I was so fasting. Why, you know. I was 40 days. Cremony one. On John Rossi. I cry a warning. And him said, betting thrice. I president, former president, Nana Rune de Baye. Who said, Yaman, I am missing it by. I mean, Adam, I am missing it by. When am I NPP? Bisa planet, you pinana, the phobia in him.
oh, wife, bro.
Oh, Messiah, near break your wife as some young castle. You're not blah. Say, party no, every party. I was seeing you, you one was a phone in every party. Because you are my name now. Party and member power beam. Because when you are a beer, your friend, I mean, I was about to not control. But in that, I am missing it by.
MPP caucus, Nina, or more MPs in the way I know more, you share no more.
And give me that cousin and the phone in Africa. I can't pass your phone one. Former president could for buy, over no say, or better have Ghana 6 months. Over 3 months, no, or Babontin of a gun of fortune. I'm a gun for you to say, Nipoya no coffee. Nana no coffee in our buying, or me and no coffee. Every slow by pen from every 2016. Or Mamma, me and no coffee, or be a Nana do be a trophy. I mean, Adam, I saw that's what I said. Well, betting has known that missing the buy. Mumbusa is a missing the buy. Mumbusa is a meaning in the buy. I'm a good in the buy. I'm a Mahama in the buy. And you can't pass some, and yet you got to be who can't pass some say Chagana for who dear him. What did Ghana for you? What did Adam up gun for seeing you answer? What poor man would come back to say, Umunim answer. My young son as some more can't have you. You need bra brain. Mama Mahama, Adam Mikasa NPP press conference beyond baby and finance assembly was when you answer some. One has a member. What's an answer from? 100 debating testified. That 100 debating testified. NPP. And the Amizidam, Asamoka answer some. Amin Adams, Asamoka answer some. Answer some. Me answer some city. Who are buying a debate? Who catches a new wabang? Ah? And the answer some woman say, Yan day. ha Ghana for nyina do wo Mahama ha na no mehia ma me bi wasom NPP saa no kura bedu wonya be eteya oso wagya NPP oso wo nunu ho sei okoto aba ma NPP 2024 because when we say Mahama betima yewe nti Mahama saa ne ma Mahama start yen anu osala into aba ma NPP this is NDC nko because Mahama adwumadua na was start wo ye no wontimi o
say to force us problem bi o metu yo me sorry
I
almost sorry problem yeah.
Now President Mahama said I am solver for Wahau. Or say I am solver for Wahau. Oh yeah, Obia you to about
problem solver.
You are problem solver. Or say Obia or how dear that Ghana should be. And nothing a Ghana for to about 1 point something nature the man said. How and so. Nti Mahama kawe asa Mahama ba wode Wahau to Obia suda. Wasa wakasa we na ayeda ayena nado mu a kasamlo odi COVID-19 yina nti President Mahama di mekano kra pe nyame ne man ko atie ena ababuo ye Ghana fo
ba munya wotre
oh
me E-levy a wo ye fi odie wani age papa
I say 100% me dia me se ma da bia me kase Mahama ti E-levy fi ma
why for frel
why ye makoma so ade mamme wo mama kuma What is not Mahama NDC for an come mama 50 years. Omontina 50, mama 150. Omontina Naka mama 50 years.
Oh Mahama.
Me mind it for 150.
Okay.
Omontina konyano so 150 years.
Hey.
Because they omoye how you
na so tax no may year few.
Oh. Na the tax na M1.
Eboa.
Sa E-levy tax amba na Ghana ye 100. Say me hotel. COVID-19 ba na Ghana na hotel. But it has na man na Ghana ye new hotel. Saka me pese me bisa se kufuo mo pese na we nyina ni mo na o mo hontom. Tama wo fa tama se ba ye na be sa tais we ni no ya Ghana for ye hotel.
O fine.
O fata atames. O mo nyina me bo president o fata mes.
Atade.
Atames president atames a nyame fa na kra nto ba bi. Ono mo nyina ba ye na Sabatin tas na E-levy maya no ya hontoy former president president omo president sa de we na hontoy aye de na nadu kwa ne peso okofa we ba ya hontoy da anto han na yani na chi president Mahama stay your care every time for years
okay
mama me nim de makatra me niachi na me sha NDC fo nyina na me sha mo ne ontua mka maje kana fo akuma so ya me sha obia sinama yam fancy
okay Jafo ko e be sa be bium abigi ji na ete ne nka no ya krai fo nyina